I am very happy to introduce, well, you've already seen him. He was here this morning, Salvatore Provenzano. He will be telling us a little bit more about Settlemint experience of implementing blockchain projects around the world, how they give advice to start a project. So Salvatore, the floor is yours.
Hi again. So this presentation is all about, we have seen numerous use cases, possibilities with blockchain. Now I want to take really concrete steps on how to make blockchain a reality for your company or for your organization. So first of all, we'll see together what are the key challenges, but also how to solve them, and what Settlemint has to offer to help you in that journey. So this is a first statement, a reality, is that when you want to implement blockchain, you actually face some challenges. So in general, what you do have is you identify a use case, then you try to build a business case to have some return on investment and thinking about the impact it can have. And then you start building a proof of concept, right? A reality, so this is a study done by Gartner, is that only 14% of enterprise use cases actually go to production and go to a scalability mode. Right? So let's see together what are the reasons for that. First of all, today blockchain developers are hard to find, hard to keep, and quite expensive. That's the first reality. Second thing is, well, it's good to have on-chain capabilities, right? To build something on the blockchain. Reality is that you also need to integrate that in an existing ecosystem, especially in a corporate environment. We have already existing systems, ERPs, application, etc. And so the failure to integrate this on-chain components with off-chain components, well, leads to a problematic situation where you don't have really, you don't get the real value proposition of blockchain. And last thing is about scalability, right? So in general, you start with a proof of concept, but soon blockchain works only if you integrate different players and you create an ecosystem of people. And as a result, the scalability is really important, and the ability to invite new members is really key in a blockchain world. So the result of those three elements, well, you can see you have long experiments, high costs, and so the idea to make it a successful use case will be to shorten the innovation cycle and see how really we can benefit from blockchain by using a different methods. So here, with Settlemint, what we want to propose is a new approach that is, well, we position ourselves as a high-performance, low-code blockchain platform. And so what we want to show you is different features that allows you to, in a couple of clicks and a couple of weeks or months, to set up your infrastructure and to really focus on the business use case and, well, in the end, creating value for your company. So well, this is a really marketing slide, but in a couple of words, what is Settlemint about? So you probably know WordPress, right? So to build a website, you either take some developers that do HTML code, or you take a low-code solution, such as WordPress, that has already pre-established templates, building blocks that you drag and drop to build your website. Similar way for Stripe, if you want to do some online payments, you have a way with Stripe to, in a couple of clicks, having different credit cards available, different payments method available on your website. Well, Settlemint is a bit the same for blockchain. So it's a set of features that allows you to build your infrastructure, and we'll see together what is needed in a blockchain infrastructure to be up and running. So yeah, so just a key line, Settlemint's low code, simply much easier and faster. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, the main purpose and the main goal of Settlemint is to reduce the time that it takes to go to production with this low-code approach. So it's a set of tools, set of features, depending on your use case, to make sure that you can, well, shop on the different features, to start with something quite simple for a proof of concept, but then easily scale, integrate, well, solve all the challenges that you can have as a corporate when you need to go to well, production, or even to scale and invite new members. So yeah, so one question that you might ask yourself is, well, what do you need to actually start building a blockchain application? The first thing that you need to think of is how to set up your infrastructure, right? So you actually need some nodes that communicate with each other. And you need to select first, well, your protocol on which blockchain you're going to build that, right? And then how are you going to host those different nodes and the data that is being collected, right? So you have different options that can be, well, cloud-based, that can be you bring your own cloud, so meaning that you host it yourself, or on-premise. Next thing, one of the element of Web3 and blockchain is what we call smart contracts, right? So smart contracts are, well, I would say predefined rules that you put in a intelligent contract that will self-execute itself. So here, what we want to offer are smart contract templates for different use cases, going from tokenization to NFTs to supply chain. Well, we have seen numerous of possibilities. And so here, in a library of smart contract templates, again, it allows you to start not from scratch, but to have an already existing template that you can still modify if you want, but at least you have best practices of different industries that are there to, well, help you going faster to production, as I mentioned. So the idea of this smart contract template is to have 80% of the work already done and just to fine-tune, to adapt it to, well, your existing business application. Then, as I said, one important challenge will be to think about integration, right? So developing a blockchain application, but then integrating with existing system. So here with a tool that is called Integration Studio, you have the ability to connect with, well, as I mentioned earlier, ERPs, existing application, accounting system, you name them, right? Websites, etc., etc. So the idea here, again, with this low-code approach, is to be able to take on-chain components, off-chain components, and to do connection and data exchange between those two elements. The scalability part. So here in our, well, visual UI and visual aspects that makes it really easy for a system administrator or for your company to scale, invite new member, give them access rights, and define which type of data they get access to, or which type of data is collected to record on chain. Last but not least, you, of course, as a system administrator or as a technical person, you need to administer this blockchain environment. So again, here you have simple UI and dashboards that allow you to, well, see if you need to scale up, scale down your different nodes, well, all type of actions that you need to do as a system administrator that are doable in a couple of clicks and that make basically your life easy. I said at the beginning of the presentation that the idea is to make it really concrete, right? So this is a classic blockchain journey, as you can see. In general, the way it works is, as I said, you have a use case, a business case. It starts with what we call a discovery and analysis, right? So we with our partners, of course, with Fujitsu and the system integrators, what we do is we challenge you and we ask you a question to understand, well, is blockchain really necessary and what blockchain will bring as a value? Then with our low-code approach and with our platform approach, the network deployment is done in a couple of minutes, as I said. Couple of clicks, low-code approach, drag and drop, similar logic than WordPress. And then we start going into the use case developments of the smart contract, the logic that you can test in a proof of concept. And then only once this is done, we integrate it into your existing environments and we scale to invite new members and we really go to production. The whole idea of the combination of Settlemint and Fujitsu is to reduce the time that it takes to go to production, but to create also business value, to create a real return on investments when it comes to blockchain, and that blockchain is not anymore just an innovation and a nice technological thing that you do, but something that has an impact and a return on investment on your business. So yeah, here I took again numerous use cases that are possible to make it again really concrete, but I think, well, some of the people here have presented already some use cases. We have presented some real-life use cases too. But I would say you have track and trace, right? So we have seen all the supply chain use cases. Anything related to ESG tracking, so sustainability goals, I think any company now is really, well, need to think about this sustainable aspects. But also more, I would say, marketing aspects such as metaverse, which is a big buzzword that is there, and that is really linked to blockchain, because in the metaverse is only useful if you can exchange value between different members, and this exchange of value happens thanks to the blockchain. NFTs, I mean, there are numerous use cases. We have seen collectibles, we have seen tokenization of real estate, of artwork, so all that goes through a non-fungible token. And then many more use cases, such as digital currency, CBDC, banking use cases, decentralized finance. So there are a lot of use cases that you can imagine. And the message I want to pass here is Settlemint offers you one single platform to do them all. So that's really the value proposition that we bring. So yeah, depending on, are you a business leader or an IT leader, you have different, I would say, value propositions that are offered to you. As business leader, well, why this low-code approach is, we believe, the right one is because it accelerates going to production, and you have a lot of use cases out of the box thanks to the smart contract templates. For IT leaders, you can, well, either do it yourself or learn how to do it. We have some kind of trainings, some kind of existing use cases, references, and a modular architecture that you can compile with and train your team on how to deliver. So as I said, the main goal of this presentation was really to take concrete steps if you had a use case and to debunk a bit the technology and how to get there, right? I had some people in the audience that came to me asking, okay, we like what we see, but where do we start, right? So I hope that this presentation gave you a clear overview of how to start, what are the steps, what are the different elements you need to think of. And, well, of course, if you have any question, we are here around. You see Settlemint shirts, Settlemint people. And more than happy to do some kind of use case deep dive sessions or to show you how the platform would work if you're more a technical person. Thank you very much.